I've lived in 34 places, and some of them were mine, and some of them I was a guest in my own life. I'm Geraldine, and this is Field Notes. It's a quieter series about the places that made me, broke me, held me, and helped me start again. And before I leave another one, I wanted to go back to the very first place I lived in New York, because I think that's where I learned the difference. Right now, I'm in the middle of another move, and before I pack another box, I wanted to ask what all of these places have actually taught me about belonging. When I lived at 24 Charles Street, we had a dog. And one day when I was at the park with my grandparents, someone came up to us and tried to grab the dog, and she wiggled out of her collar and ran off. And we looked everywhere for Natasha, and we couldn't find her. And we went home that day without the dog.
For better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails.
I was only 3.5, but I can still remember living in that apartment. Even though it was the West Village, it was the largest place we ever lived, a 2-bedroom with a dining room and a living room and an eat-in kitchen. The light would spill into the kitchen. The windowsills were so wide we could sit on them. It felt safe to explore. The evenings in the summer were quiet and magical, and the people who lived there, they talked to me, they shared things with me, even though I was little. It felt like the outside was part of a bigger family. There was something here at 24 Charles Street. It was a feeling that I think I've been trying to find ever since. I haven't felt at home in a very long time. And I keep asking myself why. And I think the honest answer is that I'm not sure I really ever have felt at home purely on my own. A place that I chose just for myself. And I'm not sure I can even describe it. I just know that I've been looking for it ever since. At 3, you don't choose. And as a teenager, I was trying to get out, not settle in. And during a marriage, you compromise. And at some point, maybe stop putting yourself in the equation at all. When we moved, I felt disjointed, like this beautiful place had been removed, cleaned, replaced with something more antiseptic. There was a sense that I could misstep, that I had to know the proper way or something bad might happen. And that feeling that it was okay to get lost, that was gone. The Upper East Side was unfamiliar, and I felt like an outsider. Uptown, private school, doorman building. It was the kind of safe my mom needed, but it was a different world. Everyone had money, we didn't, and we were kind of outsiders. It was a trade-off. It might have been safer, but I never quite fit. The apartment was 4 flights up. The light was specific in a way that I've never been able to capture. It was peaceful. There was a street fair every summer, artists everywhere, People who thought getting lost was just part of the work, and I didn't have to explain myself. I fit. And at that point in my life, I didn't know how rare that was. My sister and I used to sit on the stoop outside in our bikinis. She had pink and I had turquoise. And on hot summer days when we couldn't stand it anymore, we would go down and just hang out on the stoop. A photographer walked by once and she thought we looked so cute. She took our picture. It's funny now being on the other side of the camera.
We are dreamers of the shore when we can't read the sky. We just sail with the wind that we've got, and when we're drowning in doubt.
I didn't know what I was going to feel when I arrived on this block. It seemed smaller than I remembered, tucked away between Greenwich Avenue and 7th into a neighborhood I would later return to again and again. It was always there, just around the corner. Okay, this used to be a little pizza place, and we would get meatball sandwiches for breakfast. When my grandparents and I got home that day, we arrived at the stoop and my mom opened the door to greet us and Natasha stuck her head out. Somehow, she found her way back home. Thinking about that a lot lately, about how sometimes you don't get to choose and yet things have a way of finding their way back. I didn't know how that was going to end, and I don't know how this is going to end either. Blessings in this life, things that you couldn't have planned for, surprises. I think like someone ordered a Grubhub or something. I could have gone in, and like for a second I was considering going and knocking on the door and like saying that I used to live here and like. But then I was like, you know what? I don't want to see it. I want it to be the same as my memory. I don't live here anymore, and sometimes I'm not sure where I live now. But I came back, and maybe that's the beginning of an answer.